For today's lesson, we're taking a look at volume of prisms, cylinders, and spheres. So just as a reminder that volume is a measure of the space inside, okay, a three-dimensional object. So for this can right here that we can see over here, volume is the amount of space that fills up that whole can. So the stuff that would fit inside of it. So the amount of cereal, the amount of water or liquid, or the amount in a juice box, the water in a pool. These are typical units when we're measuring volume. Okay, so centimeters cubed, meters cubed, square, that should be cubed feet, and milliliters and liters. So a general way of writing the formula for the volume of any prism is we take the area of the base, okay, and we all know how to do area. So that's a two-dimensional surface, so the area of a base, and then we multiply that by the height of the prism, okay? So that's just in general. Let's take a look at some examples and note those formulas that we're going to be using, okay? We also have a formula sheet, and you're going to want to pay attention to this one right here and even add that to your formula sheet, because on this one we have a triangular prism, okay? So let's start with the one that we've seen many times before. This is our rectangular prism, which basically just means that our base is a rectangle. So just as I described above, when we find volume, we find the area of the base, and then I think of it as kind of like filling it up. We would multiply it by the height, okay? So on our base, remember, if we were to find the area of that base, it would be length times width. To find the volume, we would then multiply it by height. So our volume is equal to length times width times height. Okay? The next one we have here is our triangular prism. And our base is a triangle. So we think about this as our base here, and then we fill it up by multiplying it by our height. Okay, so if we find the area of our base and then we multiply it by height. So remember, the area of our base is base times height divided by 2. Okay, now this gets a little bit confusing because now we have two heights. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to change this one. My eraser is not the greatest, to length. Okay, so our volume for this triangular prism is base times height divided by 2, and then multiplied by that length. Okay, you could write it all together, base times height times length divided by 2, or sometimes, as we talked about before, finding that area of the triangle, we can write that 1/2 out front. So you could write it as, I'm just going to make a little bit more room here, 1/2 times base times height times length. Okay, so whatever volume out of those three kind of works for you. Okay, our next one that we have here is a cylinder. And again, we would find the area of the base, which is a circle, and then multiply it by the height, okay? Now remember, when we're finding the area of the base, we need to have that radius, okay? I'm also going to label this H for height. So the area of a base, or the area of a circle, right, is pi r squared. And then, of course, we would multiply this times the height. Okay, so if you want to, you can just write it all together as pi r squared h, and just knowing that each of these, again, is multiplied together. Okay, so those all mean the same thing. So that's our volume for the cylinder. And then the last one that we have here is volume of a sphere. And our volume of a sphere is 4 times pi. There's no base in a sphere, so it is a little bit different, times pi r cubed over 3. Okay, so this one, we could rewrite it with that 4 over 3 out front, and then multiply it by pi, and then multiply it by r cubed. Okay, so if you want to rewrite it like that, that's fine as well. Now we're going to take a look at some examples. So this first example is a rectangular prism. So I'm going to use my formula for the volume of a rectangular prism, which I know is length times width times height. Okay, so my length here is 8, my width is 5, and my height is 3. And sometimes students ask me, well, which one do you know is the length, width, and height? It doesn't matter. You can actually kind of make that base any side of a rectangular prism. And we know that 8 times 5 times 3 is the same as 3 times 5 times 8. The order doesn't matter with multiplication. So if yours is in a different order than mine, that's okay. You'll still get the same answer. So we get 120 units, because we don't know if is it centimeters or millimeters, and then it's our units cubed. Okay, so when we're talking about volume, we're talking about units cubed. Okay, so now we're going to find the volume of this Toblerone box. So this is a rectangular prism. So my volume for this one will be my base times my height times my length, all divided by 2. That's how I'm going to do it. And so my base of the triangle and my height of the triangle are 5 and 6. So 5 times 6. And then the length of that Toblerone bar is 20. And then I would divide that all by 2. So I punch that into my calculator and I get 300 centimeters cubed. Okay, our next example is a cylinder. So we're going to find the volume of a cylinder. So I go to my formula sheet. I know that volume is equal to pi r squared times the height. Okay, so I'm going to have pi, or you can punch in 3.14 or use the pi button on your calculator, times 4.6 squared times 10.5. Now, depending on your calculator, the order that you punch it into your calculator will be a little bit different. So I need everybody to practice, not just write it down what I'm saying. I want you to practice on your calculator, whether you're using your phone or a different calculator. You're going to want to, for a lot of you, you're going to want to square this first, then multiply it by 3.14 and by 10.5. But some of your calculators, you can go ahead and punch um, this whole expression in there, okay? Your answer, and again, I want you to try it on your own as well, is 697.6452, and that's centimeters cubed, okay? Okay, so our next one is the sphere. So remember, our volume of a sphere is equal to 4 pi r cubed over 3. So I know this is 4, pi is 3.14. My radius in this case is 4, so I have 4 cubed all over 3. And so again, you might want to go ahead and cube that 4 first. So I'll show all my steps in this one so that you get a good idea. So this is 4 times 3.14, and then 4 cubed is 64 over 3. And then the next thing you might do is multiply the top. So I'm going to multiply that whole top together, and I get 803.84, and then divided by 3, and I end up with 200. I'm running out of room here, 67.95. I had to round there, and I'm looking at cubic inches is what we say for that one. Okay. Okay, last example. This is where we start putting volumes of different shapes together. So we're going to determine the volume of sand that can be used to fill this container. So just like when we were looking at the area of composite shapes, we're going to find the two pieces separately. So you can call, if you want to, this one I'm going to call volume 1, and kind of the box on the bottom I'm going to call volume 2, and then I would add the two volumes together. Okay, so volume 1, and if it helps to redraw that cylinder, you can do that. So I have my cylinder like this. I have my radius is 4 and my height is 8. So this is a cylinder. Again, I'm going to have pi r squared times the height. Okay, so I'm going to have 3.14 or pi. So let's maybe try using our pi button if we have our pi button on our calculator. My radius is 4 and my height is 8. So I get 401.92, and this is cubic feet. Okay, then I'm going to do volume 2, which is that box on the bottom where I have 14, 8, and 12. So my volume for this one is obviously going to be length times width times height. So I have 14 times 8 times 12, which gives me 1,344 cubic feet. And so then my total volume for this shape is just the two added up together. So 401.92 plus 1,344. So that is then going to equal 1,745.92 cubic feet. Okay? So now you're going to move on to your practice sheet. So the solutions are posted on our class site. So after you do a question, make sure that you're checking the solutions to make sure that you have a good understanding.